The enormity of the tragedy of Bhopal, India is becoming more apparent this morning. That one death was being recorded every minute from the poison gas leak.
Have faith, she said.
I am confident that the victims can be fairly and equitably compensated.
The company had major concerns about the safety conditions for methyl isocyanate.
Fire streets near the factory are nearly deserted.
Vultures devour the carcasses of animals killed by the fumes.
Bhopal's history is written everywhere, from its celebrated mosques to its magnificent palaces. Hundreds of visitors are charmed by its blend of tradition and modernity. However, behind its pleasant landscape, the city hides the horrors of the worst industrial disaster in the history of mankind. On December 3rd, 1984, a cloud of highly toxic gases leaked from the Union Carbide factory situated in the heart of Bhopal. It transformed the city into a gas chamber, claiming over 5,000 lives and condemning lakhs to a lifetime of pain. 30 years after the disaster, the survivors struggle for health, justice, and a life of dignity.
We believe that at least more than 150,000 people are today currently chronically ill from diseases of the lungs, of the brain, of the kidneys, of the liver, of the reproductive system, immune system. There are too many people with cancers. And on top of that, there are too many children born with congenital malformations. So it's affecting the next generation as well.
कहीं भी कोई भूकंप आता है या कोई दुर्घटना होती है, रेल दुर्घटना होती है, जलजाले आते हैं, बाढ़ आती है, कुछ भी होता है, तो केंद्र सरकार न प्रदेश की सरकार दोनों सरकारें मदद करती हैं, मगर 30 साल गुजर जाने के बाद भी दोनों सरकारों ने भोपाल के देशभक्तों को अभी तक कोई मदद नहीं की। मोदी सरकार आई, उनको भी लिखा, मोदी का कहना अच्छे दिन है, तो देशभक्तों के भी अच्छे दिन होना चाहिए, तो मोदी से देश विदेश की यात्रा करना, मगर भोपाल की तरफ एक बार भी पलट कर नहीं। जिस दिन से शिवराज सिंह चौहान मुख्यमंत्री बने, आज तक मैंने अपनी कॉलोनी में या गंभीर गैसपुर इलाके में नहीं देखा या गैसपुरों का जिक्र नहीं। यहाँ की बेटी जो ज्यादा खास तौर से गंभीर इलाके की है, उन्हें दूसरे शहरों में रिश्ते नहीं मिलते, तो गैसपुर से शादी करना पड़ती है, और गैसपुर की लड़की से भोपाल की लड़की से शादी करी तो बेटी दूसरा पापा खाना खिला रहे हैं।
इस साल बाद ये है कि रोज जीना है और रोज मरना है, मतलब जीने से अच्छा है कि मर जाना। मरने में एक बार तकलीफ होगी, लेकिन रोज रोज मरने से तो एक बार मर। अभी ये मान लो कि अभी हमसे बन रहा है, ये इतने बड़े हैं, अगर अभी कल को जो 20 साल के हों, 35 साल के हो या 25 साल के, जितनी भी ईश्वर ने उम्र दी है,
आजकल से इतना गिर रहा है मंजूर,
बेटे बेटे गिर जाता है, अगर एक जन करीब में नहीं हो तो गिर जाते हैं पूरे दाढ़ी मारे, ये सब कातलक ध्यान रखें, गिर जाते हैं।
कल 5 मरतबा गिरा मंजूर, मेरा तो जवान है, तुम्हारी उम्र का।
कैसे हो? ठीक है।
Economically, because the majority of the people who got gassed that night here in Bhopal were people who earned their livelihood through hard physical labor. And they, when they lost their health, they lost their ability to earn as well. So that impact continues. I mean, the children of those parents had to leave school. So there's a whole generation that had to actually leave school. And they today are jobless.
Large majority of them are already dead. Either they died immediately or they died later on. We mobilized social resources and got these medicines. which were, there is not a single person who can say that he went to hospital and he did not get medicines. What people might say, this should have been given, that is different. Yeah. Whether you should have a blue shirt or you should have a white shirt or you have, but as long as you have a shirt, it's all right. Those who were 60 years or 50 years will have problems of old age, which anybody gets. That too in a population which of low socio-economic strata. One single exposure is not likely to produce repeat changes in the body.
30 years on, one of the, I would say one of the saddest things, and that shows how unconcerned and apathetic the government and the companies are, that 30 years after the disaster, today we do not know what the proper treatment for the gas victims is. So symptomatic treatment is the mainstay currently, which means that you get painkillers for any kind of pain that you have, steroids, antibiotics, and psychotropic drugs that make you sleep or make you too dopey, and you have these drugs, and they essentially, to start with, damage your liver and your kidneys. So this is one of the tragedies. Today we essentially the dominant healthcare in Bhopal is causing more harm than good. The story of medical research in Bhopal is more a story of law and politics, because see, 24 research projects were started by the Apex Research Agency, the Indian Council of Medical Research, and now out of these 24, all but 2 were closed in 92.
Those projects were on pathology, those projects were on clinical diseases, those they were on toxicology. So likewise 20 projects were undertaken, and since those projects came to logical end in 94, those projects were wound up.
We have carried out one small study with Department of Pediatrics. There also we found that this pediatric group, in exposed group and in control group, the reproductive parameters are not different.
On the 5th, 6th, we received the whole information about the MIC from the Union Government. And on that document it was written, in none of the conditions this MIC will class the placental blood barrier level. It will reach to the mother, but it can't reach to the fetus. Placental level it will not class. But contradictory to this, once we took the blood of died mother and we took the blood of fetus who died in the uterus, both the bloods, they are having the same elements what the mother was. That means no doubt the person who have survived, the mother who have survived after exposure, carrying fetus, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever that may be. That means that poison has already reached to the fetus, and further growth has taken place along with that poison, and even the birth has also taken place along with that poison. So definitely, it will definitely cause a bad effect on the growth and its future.
Such a highly poisonous gas, could it produce changes in the chromosomal pattern of the victims, including those who had in the intrauterine life could get those damages? And this study was also conducted, but we did not find any significant evidence that it had produced chromosomal change.
गाड़ी रिहैबिलिटेशन सेंटर में हमारे पास सभी तरह की डिसेबिलिटीज़ हैं, जैसे कि सेरेब्रल पैल्सी, मेंटल रिटार्डेशन, ऑटिज्म, अटेंशन डेफिसिट हाइपरएक्टिव डिसऑर्डर्स, फिजिकली हैंडीकैप्ड जो होते हैं वो, डाउन सिंड्रोम। गैस लीक हुई थी जो सॉइल में जाके डंप किया था सारे केमिकल्स ये सब, उसके कारण जो वाटर पोल्यूट हुआ था। तो या तो उन बस्तियों से आते हैं पानी पीड़ित या फिर गैस पीड़ित बस्तियों से ही सारे लोग आते हैं।
The story of Bhopal's toxic legacy predates the disaster to 1979, when Union Carbide India Limited started manufacturing the pesticide 7. The toxic byproduct of the operations was regularly dumped into the tanks at the plant site and in the solar evaporation ponds of the factory. Till today, those ponds continue to contaminate the groundwater. In the year 1999, Greenpeace declared the factory site as a global toxic hotspot. The soil here is contaminated and the trees bear toxic fruits. With easy access to factory premises, children who come to play here are oblivious to the toxicity of the ground. Union Carbide promised state-of-the-art science to produce the safest pesticide in the world. In reality, however, it shortchanged the Indian government by installing unproven and untested technology in the Bhopal plant. In the MIC control room, a single operator had to monitor 70-odd panels, indicators and controllers, all of which were old and faulty and often failed. Union Carbide left behind over 5,000 metric tons of toxic waste when they shut operations in Bhopal after the disaster. In 2001, when Carbide ran into losses and went under, Dow Chemicals acquired 100% shares of the corporation.
For more than 70 years, Dow has been developing and applying separation and purification technologies around the world. We know water. In fact, we partner with Water Health International and support their mission to bring clean water to rural areas around the world. This is the human element at work. Dow.
We made all the hospitals. We made widows free houses for widows. We taken the development schemes in the 30 wards. Water cleaning, Shuddha Pani. What we are drinking, they used to do. There is no any kind of problem with water. After 84, is it 2014 है, तो कितना टाइम हो गया?
पच्चीस नवंबर 85 में ये चालू हुआ है, तब से चल रहा है। 25 नवंबर 85 को 100 महिलाएं ली थी उन्होंने, 50 हिंदू 50 मुस्लिम। वो महिलाओं में जितनी रह गई हैं वही कर रहे हैं। अभी 66 महिलाएं हैं, बाकी किसी की शादी हुई, बहुत कुछ खत्म हो गई, तो उनको 66 को रखे हुए हैं। एक को भी भर्ती नहीं किया, कहीं किसी को रोज़गार नहीं, कोई इलाज नहीं है, कोई पुनर्वास नहीं है। ये तो लड़ के जिंदा है। अगर संघर्ष इसका नहीं हो रहा होता तो ये भी सब अपने अपने घर बैठे हुए। गवर्नमेंट कितनी योजनाएं चलाती है विकलांगों के लिए, लेकिन वो विकलांगों को कितनी ठोकरें खाना पड़ती है, तब जाके वो 150 रुपये और 500 रुपये की पेंशन होती है।
बिल्कुल सुनने वाला नहीं है। बच्चे को गोद में ला, इतना बड़े बच्चे को टांगे घूमते हैं, आखिर थक जाते हैं तो बैठ जाते हैं घर।
Compared to the other major disasters in the world, Bhopal has the dubious distinction of not only being the worst, but also one of the least compensated. The compensation figure amounts to a mere 5 rupees a day, scarcely enough to buy a cup of tea, let alone covering the medical expenses of the victims. This has led to a continuous widespread protests against the settlement. Dow refuses to compensate the victims as it maintains that it neither owned nor operated the plant.
जो डाउ है वो एक कम संस्था को पैसा दे रहा था चेन्नई में, जो विकलांग बच्चों को पेन लगा रही थी, पोलियोरिथिन जो होती है। तो उससे हमें पता लगा था कि मतलब अगर उसमें धोखे से आग लगती है तो जो भोपाल में हादसा हुआ था उससे भी बड़ा हादसा हो सकता है, उन बच्चों की जान जा सकती है। हमने वहाँ पर भी जाकर बताया और स्कूल कॉलेजों में भी जाकर बताते हैं, तो काफ़ी बच्चे और जो बड़े लोग हैं, कॉलेजों के जो लोग हैं, वो इस चीज़ को समझ रहे हैं और शायद हम लोग ये उम्मीद भी करते हैं आगे कि भोपाल में इंसाफ तो होगा ही होगा, पर दूसरा भोपाल कहीं और भी ना होगा।
Primary responsibility is on the company, on the corporations, Union Carbide, and now because Dow Chemical has took over Union Carbide, Dow Chemical, because the people didn't do anything to deserve this, and it was Union Carbide that was making profits through producing poisons in the midst of dense settlements without telling anyone. So it's totally their responsibility. They are criminally responsible for this.
What do you mean by ethics? Ethics means you adopt a particular standard. Now they said no, we are not, right from the beginning they have said, we are not going to assume liability. So what is unethical about it?
The government of India could not gather the courage to ask the US to make Mr. Warren Anderson appear before Indian courts. Now, if anything happens in the US, they will drag the culprit from anywhere in the world, and if that is not possible, they will kill him, just as they did in the case of Osama bin Laden.
This political system in which we live over here is completely relying on the corporate funds, and that is why whenever there is a situation when a corporate is in any kind of a crisis, only this political system comes to their rescue, because they are hand in glove. They work together and they help each other in the times of crisis. Otherwise this tragedy could not have happened.
The Bhopal picture gets larger as we look closer, till we find that it affects each one of us in our lives. In the challenge of discovery and experiment to help the world, are we tempted to compromise on dangers? Do the pressures of larger corporate responsibilities make us less caring towards individuals? The horrors of Bhopal are happening around us even now, all the time in different ways. Let us remember Bhopal as an event that challenges us not only to commemorate the dead, but to fight for the rights of those who are living and those yet unborn.